After you sign a contract to get your roof replaced, the next step is usually picking out a shingle color. And for some people, it's a very exciting and fun time because they get to kind of play around with changing the exterior look of their homes. But for other people, it can be a little bit of a stressful experience because there's a lot of different options out there, and with everything else going on in your life, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So at Restoration Roofing, we have a ton of different resources to help people decide shingle colors. We also have a showroom here in Collierville, Tennessee, but who I want to introduce you to today is actually my wife, Hannah. She works with us full time. Her office is literally right here. So, Hannah, in today's video, what I want to do is ask you a couple questions, a couple scenarios, typical color schemes and different veneers that we see on homes in this area, right? But before we get into that, how many customers would you say you get to help out on an average week?
Weekly, I'd say three a week.
Okay, so about 3 people a week come in here and you help them pick out a color. That's awesome. So the first one that I want to go over is kind of like our house, right? We have white siding and white trim and gray gutters, which seems to kind of be the style these days. What colors would you recommend for a house like that?
Well, white on white, I mean, you could do all the colors because obviously everything matches with white, but my personal favorite would be, actually we're standing right next to it, coastal granite. So it's got the blues, and it's got a bunch of color variations in it. So since it's kind of like the plain white on white, that's kind of boring. But then all of the different colors in the coastal granite will kind of, make it pop and give you something else to look out at instead of just like the plain old blah white.
Okay. Any other?
Yes. So if we're not into blues, then I would definitely come back here to black.
All right.
Yeah, so here is our black, and as you can see, it's up against white, and it still looks perfectly fine, and I love it. And it does give more of like the modern farmhouse feel, which is what a bunch of people are doing these days. So you get the white with the black, you could do black gutters, black shutters, black doors, that super farmhouse look.
Awesome, yeah. All right, Hannah, so I like those colors too, but what if you don't like black and you really don't want the gray, the light, gray blue shingle colors, and you still have that white house? What would you do?
Then I would take them over to the brown section, which is over here. So if they're not into blues and blacks, and like I said, white goes with everything. So you can pick whichever one you want, but I really like Majestic Shake. So it's got just like coastal granite, it's got a bunch of the different color variations, so you can get, some sort of pop to your house. And it's got the dark browns, the light browns, some greens and blues in here. But that would be my next go-to if they're like absolutely no blacks and blues.
Awesome. And just a little bit of backstory on the Majestic Shake. This is one of the few colors that Atlas actually brought out in 2017 as a part of their Natural Expressions line. It does not cost any more money to get one of these high definition colors. Copper Canyon is another one that's relatively new to the Atlas color lineup. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Now, I'm trying to think. We've done a couple homes that actually had a tan siding, and they were vinyl siding homes, but it was like tan siding with tan fascia wrap. What would you recommend for that?
Well, for tans, that could go one of two ways. If we're talking like a dark tan, like kind of almost like a brown, like almost brown, I would definitely do Copper Canyon. Because the Copper Canyon's got the darkness that kind of matches the darkness with the siding and stuff that you described. But if we're talking like a light creamish tan, like any of the lighter brown family, I mean, even going into white, I would do Majestic Shake again. I think that Majestic Shake just looks super pretty with the brown family.
All right, Hannah, what about homes that have like the real red brick? No color variation, it's just solid red.
Okay, so for red brick homes, I would definitely say to stay in the blue family, which would be our pewter or our coastal granite. It just kind of depends on if you want more of a pop to your roof or more of just kind of like a neutral, safe, solid roof. Coastal granite is going to give you those pops, which is super pretty. And then pewter is going to be, you know, just the uniform color throughout, which again is still so pretty. And really, I would suggest these two for the pink bricks as well. Same thing, you know, what do you want? Do you want it to be more pop or play it safe? So I think that those are both two really good colors for those, for pink and red bricks. But if we're talking about a red brick that has the color variation in it, because a lot of the red brick has like the dark purples and blues.
Yeah.
I would go right over here to Summer Storm. And this one is so pretty because it's got the blues, it's got the greens, and then it's got the red in it too, which really, it just, I don't know, it just looks so pretty with those bricks.
Yeah. And the Summer Storm is another one of those natural expression colors that came out in 2017. If you actually scroll through our YouTube channel, I think I've got a Summer Storm drone video we did where we came back with some metal valleys in it as well. It looks really nice. Okay, so I want to add something in this too, because you haven't really mentioned Hearthstone. Now, Hearthstone is one of my favorite colors. We don't sell a ton of it, but I don't even think you worked here with me when we did this roof. It was many years ago, but I had a client who had his siding was actually blue. It was new hardy siding. He had painted it this blue color, and he really wanted Hearthstone. Now, at first I didn't think it would look that good, but he was very adamant about it, and I give my customers what they want, and we put this up here, and it ended up looking amazing. So there are homes I see with a dark blue now. That's a great color for that.
Yeah, that would have never been one of my first picks.
Yeah. All right, Hannah, so we're back on the other side now. We're standing in front of the weathered woods. And this is my last question to you. How come you have not mentioned either one of these?
Ooh, the weathered wood and then the weathered shadow. I love both of them. I just never mentioned them because they're the play it safe shingle. I mean, they'll go with anything and everything. They're a good neutral, but we do have two different weathered woods, I guess you would say. So the weathered shadow, as you can see, it's got this dark shadow line here, and it's got some more variation in the color, but either way, they're both like a good neutral. You can't go wrong. It's gonna be pretty either way. Just those other colors are just kind of more of what you don't see every day.
Awesome. And I would also add to that, Majestic Shake is like a cousin of Weathered Shadow. It too is a pretty safe color because you can see it kind of has all the different colors you could possibly have on your house in it. It's just got more contrast. But either way, I hope somebody out there finds this video helpful. I'm in the camp that it's like this would be very stressful for me to have to pick out a color. That's why I'm thankful I have a wife who can do all this stuff for me. But if you would like a quote on a new roof, or you just have some questions about colors, you can give me a call. 901-854-3402. Thanks.